Hi everyone. Today's video is kind of like a color and chat. I'm just going to talk about what I'm working on in this book and show you kind of what I've done with the picture. Not sure if anybody will like this video, but I know I need to post something. I haven't posted a video in a few days. I've been struggling lately with video ideas. And so I figured I'll do this, see what comes of it and how it makes out. I by no means consider myself an expert, obviously. I just want to share and be a part of the coloring community because I don't have anyone in my everyday life that's interested in coloring, and I'm kind of obsessed. When I hear people talk about, they color, 2 hours, maybe a day at the most. I'm like, what, really? I feel like I kind of stepped back a little bit because I feel like I kind of realized I was, I'm coloring 6 hours out of the day. Now it's not all at one time, it's throughout the day. Obviously I get up and start my morning and get my kids off to school, and my job is remote right now. I'm answering phones, so in between phone calls there's not a whole lot I can do other than clean house and color. So I clean house every day, and so therefore I only have about an hour worth of cleaning every morning, and I usually do that right after I get the kids off, and then I get to sit down and color until about lunchtime, and then I make my boyfriend lunch when he comes home from work for lunch, and then I get back to coloring until the kids get off the bus. First one's 3, and then the other 2 follow along. So that's kind of how my days have been. Even prior, when I was working full-time, I actually got to color a lot this past year. The job I was doing when I was working in their office, it's a new business, so not always the busiest. We're a cremation service, so in between calls I was just sitting in an office answering the phones. So I colored. I took my coloring to work. My boss didn't mind because, when work came, I just set my coloring aside and I did my work. So I did get to color a lot more than probably the average person would. So, yeah, so I've just been working on trying to improve and get better myself. So I'm working on this page, and the book is Where the Wildflowers Grow by Adriana Picker. Sorry for all my rambling as well. Like I said, I usually rehearse because I don't know how to edit. And so I rehearse and practice what I'm going to say and do. And I really, really haven't rehearsed anything in this. So some people might have looked at this page and thought it was really boring and all, this was actually the first page I've done in this book. It was one of the ones that I wanted to do when I saw flip through. After I bought this, I did look around at some other flip throughs and things like that, and people doing other pages, and I saw Julia's Passion for Coloring, who I follow, and I've learned a lot from her. She did this as well. I had already started this, but she done all of these in purples and pinks. When I saw it, I immediately thought green, and not only that, my favorite green, which is the olive green Prismacolor. It's my favorite green. And basically I kind of started and just wanted to kind of show everybody how I kind of do, especially with the Prismas, they blend out really good. So I usually just color dark. Here, let me zoom in. This is my first time on this, guys, so, but there's shading here at the edge or top, whatever you want to call it, of each leaf. So I start in and I do the dark, to take this cut green, and I do darker. You could layer other colors in with this, but I just did straight, just the olive green. And I did darker back here with a lighter pressure going out. And then what I'm going to do is take my blender and blend it down in. So I just kind of wanted to show, and it makes it look like all the rest did. Smooths out the color, so it'll end up looking like this from this to this, just by simply using the blender pencil. I don't know if I'm staying where you can see me, but so that's what I would do with that. Now this would have been normally a pretty boring picture, but the whole time I was coloring it, I was trying to think, what could I do with the bottom? And in Julia's, she basically dotted it with a white Posca pen, one like this. And I could have done that, but I didn't want to do the same thing. I wanted to be a little different. So I decided bubbles. And so I've started them here. They're not, these ones here are finished. There's just these few here with the reflections. I'm working on these ones all here. So I watched a tutorial a while back on bubbles, and I kind of liked on them. So I decided to do that. I'll zoom back out here a little bit. So, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice if there's some, you know, silhouette in the corner, like blowing bubbles. And underneath of this, you see it's darker black than this. Underneath of that is my drawing. I tried to draw. Yeah, I'm not the greatest. I was not happy with it. So, and I practiced on another piece of paper and thought I had it. Looked good on the other piece of paper. And then when I put it here, it just didn't look as good. And I was going off of, I had looked up one line and I saw this one here. So I thought, well, that one might be nice to kind of put in that corner. But this was the one I ended up deciding to go with. So basically what I did is I upsized it and then cut her out. And my intention really was just to trace over her. And then I was going to color her in white because the background's black. But I practiced on the back. It's not the same paper, but I was practicing back here and coloring in. So yeah, you can see I wasn't doing a very good job, but I was practicing on here and I wasn't sure how the bubbles would look on black because I'd never done them on black. And then this has glossy accents on it. So I was kind of playing around with the back of one of these pages because I can still color that. I didn't hurt this. So when I did this and I traced it, I didn't like how that white looked. So I decided just to glue that sucker and cover up my mistake. So, and I used one of the Quickie glue pens and just rubbed that on and glued her down. This does dry very quickly. So I basically just did this top part, applied it, held it up, and then applied more glue. So it's just a thought. I thought I'd share with everybody what I ended up doing. I did leave the white highlight around and actually darkened it a little bit because I felt like it made it pop and stand out. As far as the bubble shapes are concerned, I personally use this stencil, and because I like the different shapes and sizes and I didn't really have to think about it too much. Don't really use the big ones in this situation, but also if you have one of these, you could use one of these because you would have your range of what size you wanted to use. But I did use this one, and basically I used it with a 05 Jelly Roll. And I'm gonna zoom back in here. And so basically, which one do I want to use? You just kind of put it in. I didn't go around them more than once. And if you make a mistake, it's all right. deal. You can also move the stencil around. You don't have to keep it in that one spot. So that's how I did that part of it. And then as far as actually coloring a bubble, if you guys are interested, I'll show you that here. So you really want to just pick out, the colors I picked were blue and red, a bluish and a reddish color. So what I am actually using is the True Blue and the Pomegranate. And I prefer the look to have the blue on the bottom. You could do it vice versa, I don't think it would matter, but I just prefer it that way. And basically, who I'm gonna be, you just want to do some of your blue on the bottom and some of your red on the top, mirrored from each other. And then you want to take your white Prismacolor and go back over all of it. And what it'll do is soften up that blue and that red for you. And then, of course, add in a reflection, which you can do also with this as well, Posca pen, but I prefer to use the pencil on this. Especially this paper has a bit of a texture to it. It's not quite the same as that backing on that other paper. So yeah, so I just wanted to, you know, record something quick that I could put out there. Not sure, you know, if anybody will like it. Yeah, and sorry, I did a lot of ums in this one. No. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts, and if there's any certain kind of video you'd like to see, or you want to give me a video idea, throw it out there for me. I'd appreciate it. I've just been kind of stumped the last couple days, so any idea would be appreciated. Thanks guys for watching. Take care. Bye.